It away.
Hello again, race fans and esports enthusiasts everywhere from Barber Motorsports Park just outside of Birmingham, Alabama. It's time for the AMP Wednesday night eSeries here. Bill Rigdon, trackside here, along with William Rigdon. Will, what are we looking at? It's been a bit of a gap, as you mentioned before in the bonus content, but new format and new cars, and everything's different this season.
Yes, and a new streaming computer as well, which might explain some of our issues we are having tonight. So you should notice a good increase in the streaming quality. But this season is going to be all about the Miatas. It's the MX5 Cup. And so we are actually partnering with the J-Zilla crew over on, make sure I get this right, with the J-Zilla Track Day crew. They normally run on Thursdays, and they have decided to come join us tonight for our Miata Cup. So we're happy to have some of their drivers in here. We actually have a couple of drivers who joined us from last season from the go-kart track, a couple of young drivers. We've got Oliver Piatek in there, along with Spencer Mast. So it'll be interesting. Also with some of our returning characters, we got Warren Mitchell, we got Ben Warren, Dion Fiello, Zach Holden, Peter Hutchings, all making returns. The young phenom, Raiden Nickel, if you've been following our live streams during the live races that we have once a month up at Main Track, you'll recognize his name. Michael Day.
He knows about driving that Miata.
Yes, he does. Michael Day is back with us for his 5th season. Shuma Anabogu, Matt Carroll, Chris James, like I said, already announced Spencer Mast. Let's see, Jason Eberhardt is a new name for us. Jonathan Greenberg is back. Corbin Mitchell is back. The always wonderful Ben Hammer, Ben Warren.
So we are looking at 17 cars in this field. Pole sitter Dion Fiallo, Zach Holden on the outside, followed by Hutchings and Day, then Nickel and Flannery, Onabogu and Leo Oliveira, followed by Oliver Piatek, Matt Carroll, Chris James, Roger Mass, Jason Eberhard, Jonathan Greenberg, Corbin Mitchell, Ben Warren, and Christopher James. And this should be good, Will. 2 20-minute races where the second race starting as inverted from the finishing order of the first race.
Sorry, say that one more time. I'm policing comments on the Facebook. So,
okay.
Man, we promise we will shake all these wrinkles out by next week, folks.
Noting that we are running in 2 20-minute races with the starting lineup from the second race being an inverse,
and that is actually
the finishing order.
So that will actually be the format next week. So I was actually in the drivers' meeting before this. Yeah, we were all kinds of backwards tonight, folks. So we are actually going to be running a single 40-minute race tonight. Now, the agreed-upon format was to be 2 20-minute races with an inverted field halfway through the race. Now, I don't know if our lovely race director, Kevin Espinosa, passed over that for this race, but that will be the setup next time. Tonight, we're just going to see a single 40-minute sprint race. And so what will be interesting here is these cars will not have the tires or fuel. Now, they will probably have the tires if they choose to stay out there. More than likely will not have the fuel to make it through this, so we will see some green lap pit stops, Bill.
And the pace car is taking the field off into the first turn. And we will be underway very shortly here, this first race of the Wednesday E-Series here, brought to you by Atlanta Motorsports Park, and we are happy to be back. Looking forward to seeing what these guys do in the Miatas. They've been in several different kinds of cars that we've called them, and the one thing noted about these Miatas is that they are easier to drive, so we should see more competitive races, even more competitive than we have seen, and we certainly should see lots of action.
Yes, the learning curve won't be as steep as it was last season with the GT3s, so we should see a lot tighter racing, a lot more packs. Looks like we've got 17 drivers loaded in here, so we have a decent-sized field. We do hopefully expect this to grow a little bit as word gets out. We kind of did a stealth start to season number 5 here. And so we kind of got this up and running, kind of came out of nowhere, and we are happy to be back. We've been focusing on trying to get live video out of our actual race days up at Atlanta Motorsports Park, and that's been going very well. We should be hitting it live next month at our kart track. And in the interim, though, we will have a full season of iRacing because we will be here every Wednesday for the next 6 weeks as we run this Season 5 MX5 Cup, Bill.
And this will be exciting. I guess this first race we'll find out who likes these cars and who doesn't, and who can handle them and who can't. They'll all shake out very shortly, as we have about a half a lap to go before they'll take the green here. Again, Fialo and Holden are your 1 and 2, and they will lead the field down to the green flag. And
it looks like we already had a little bit of action there on the warm-up. Looks like somebody crashed. He blew an engine.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And that was Christopher James having to retire before the race even started. I'm not sure if that was kept it in first gear that whole time. Not sure.
Will he get a fast repair?
We will see. And the pace car is off.
Here they come. Down to the line. Holden and Fialo. Fialo and Holden coming down to the line, waiting for the starter. And green flag is out, and we are underway here at Barber Motorsports Park as we are watching Zach Holden, Dion Fialo side by side, and it looks like going into the first quarter, it's going to be Holden just by a nose with Fialo in second, that 117. Third, looking to the inside, Michael Day looking to challenge Fialo. He will take second for the moment, but Fialo will come back and challenge Day in that 599 Miata.
The Friend Motorsport MX5.
And there you see from the front cam view of, well, was your second place car, now your leader, Zach Holden. Still, field is pretty tight, stretching all the way back. Holden, Fialo, Day, Hutchings, Flannery, Nickel, and Chuma will be your top 7. As you see Holden nipping those apexes and hopping those curves, making those curves as straight and short as possible.
And we are
on
riding
board now with Michael Day. Open cockpit cars, by the way.
Yeah,
beautiful day here, by the way, at Barber Motorsports Park.
We decided to go topless this season, Bill. Sun's out, guns out.
Nothing wrong with that.
And looking like Fialo giving the chrome horn there to Holden. Trying to go to the outside, making the pass, goes a little wide there into the grass, manages to wrestle it back onto the track. And let's see where they're at the line. He ducks back in. That allowed Michael Day to get around. And Bill, we're going to have to try and figure out a rhythm here because during our live videos at the main track, usually pass off when we're on the sky cam, but I guess we have we got the iRacing cam this go around, so
we have sky cams everywhere.
So you'll be able to.
Holden will still be your leader. Day trying to hang on to second, but Fialo having none of that. Outbreaks him going into the corner. It looks like Fialo is going to take second place back from Day, as he had position going into the corner. Day left the door open and allowed Fialo to get in there. So it's Holden, Fialo, Day, Hutchings, and Flannery, your top 5. And the top 6 in a pack, including young Raiden Nickel. I've been excited to see him run. He's so much fun to watch in the real cars, and I don't think watching him in a virtual car will be any different.
And Holden there coming in a little hot to that last turn.
We got trouble hard off the corner. And that was
looked like
Zach
that
Holden.
That was Holden.
Let's look at that on replay. Yep, he got into.
It looks like he got into it with. Let's see if we can do that one more time.
But that was either Day or Fialo that it was Day nipped him, and then he got punted in the back by Hutchings. got around backwards and sideways, and you don't want to see the track from that angle.
And that is a tough break for Zach Holden, who is a strong contender in our series for the last couple seasons.
Yeah, looks like he's got a little tire rub or something going on there. He's going to have to hit the pit road
and get that fast repair.
And get that repair. He's also being, who's that following him in?
It looked like that was, I did not see there. Holden, that is Chris James.
Chris James following him into pit road. So let's hope he had enough to get enough laps in to have enough fuel to finish.
And while all that was happening, it looks like Michael Day made the pass on Fiallo, but Fiallo now taking that lead right back.
Day and Fiallo have been going at it first for second and now for first once Holden had his misfortune.
And it's not showing me on my score sheet that Day ever passed Fiallo, but it looked like he was in the front of him when we switched back, so that might have been, maybe they didn't go through enough turns for it to count.
And look at Hutchings looking to the inside of Day. Day looking to the inside of Fiallo. There is action all up and down that top five at least here at Barber Motorsports Park.
And Bill, we still have a pretty good group here running up at the front. Only about 1.3, 1.4 seconds separating your top five right now. And then further back from there, we've got another little mid-pack running. And it looks like from 10th on back to 14th, that group is only separated by about 2.5 seconds.
5 minutes in, completed 3 laps now. Your leader, Dion Fiallo, second place, Michael Day. Peter Hutchings, Ryan Flannery, Raiden Nickel, your top 5 in a pack right there. Looks like they've settled down for the moment, but don't expect that to last for very long.
And here's that mid-pack I was talking about. Or I guess that later mid-pack. I don't know how you would score this one. But Shuma Anabogu here leading up in the 10th position with Eberhard right on his tail.
Mitchell, Master Warren. I believe that's Master Warren that were side by side. They're going at it for 13th place. As we watch him disappear over the hill and break hard into that corner.
And while we are on Ben Warren, exciting news out of the Warren household. While we were on break after season 4, Ben welcomed his first child into this world. Big congratulations to him on being a new father. Although excited to get back on track, I am sure. But we have now coined the new nickname, the Ben Hammer. Anytime the action heats up with Mr. Ben Warren.
Goodness.
And it looks like we have a little action. Matt Carroll. See if we can go to replay on here. And that looked like that wasn't Shuma. Who was that got? And that was Jonathan Greenberg got into the back of Matt Carroll there.
These cars are pretty dicey and easy to handle, and you can put them places that some of these other cars you couldn't, but you sometimes pay the consequences.
Well, we will see how Race Control scores this one. So, because from our perspective, it kind of looked like a punt, but, you know, it could be just two drivers racing for the corner. So we will let our wonderful race director, Kevin Espinosa, settle that one out.
Coming down now at 7.5 minutes, about 4.5 laps complete right now. Your leader still Dion Fiallo, Michael Day second, Peter Hutchings third, Ryan Flannery fourth, and Raiden Nickel still in fifth. Not much distance between the two, maybe a second and a half from first to fifth. So that's some great racing action here.
Well, being his debut race in the AMP eSeries, Raiden Nickel is coming out strong right now. Although we still have plenty of race left to go, and he is only 13 years old, so we are excited to see what happens there.
I have often wondered if some of my competitors were 13 years old when I've been on iRacing, but for different reasons entirely. So he's not the type that's going to turn around and run in the other direction or something just, because.
Well, what's amazing is he does this in real life in this exact same car out at our main track racing series. And for those of y'all that are interested in seeing some of the racing, if you're local to the Atlanta area, May 8th is our next event, and we will have some historics coming out for that race, which will be fun. We've got a 1.6 liter and a 2.5 liter class. They will be gridded together, but obviously staged for their groups. And that'll be fun coming up because traditionally we just run the Miatas and the Radical Downforce class. So it'll be fun to add that third group with all the historics coming up here May 8th.
I know I'm looking forward to being there. I've kind of been away for a few weeks, but it'll be good to be back and see the big cars run. Of course, still, eventually I'll get to the karts again because I've missed that as well. But things are starting to settle out as we get into the summer months, and the summer series is underway at Atlanta Motorsports Park on the big track.
So we were 2 rounds into both tracks right now. So we had the go-kart track was last weekend, and that'll be coming up later in May. I believe that'll be the weekend before Labor Day or Memorial Day, so it should be the 22nd of May will be the next kart track race day. So that'll be fun.
Absolutely.
And you can also catch Raiden Nickel there as well, along with Peter or Olivia Piatek. Sorry, I cannot pronounce it. I'm looking at the name in iRacing. Or unless that's Leo. No, that's Leo Oliveira. God, I am way off tonight, folks. Oliver Piatek behind him. He is a common face back at the go-kart track, along with Spencer Mast as well. So again, if you want to see,
I mispronounce his name quite often at the kart track.
So if you want to see these guys in action, like I said, May 22nd, back at our kart track up in beautiful Dawsonville, Georgia.
Absolutely.
And a little bit of action here as Jonathan Greenberg getting around Leo and Oliver.
For the moment, he left the door open up, gets to slam the door back on him, and there he is back to the outside, side-by-side action there. And we'll come down to the, still haven't decided it yet. It's Oliveira and Greenberg.
And I just realized with a last name like Greenberg, why else wouldn't you run that paint scheme?
All right. Greenberg back to the inside now of Oliveira.
That joke would have been more
position back.
It would have been more relevant had I made that yesterday. As you were saying, Bill.
I'm just completely speechless at this point. Oh, goodness. We are 11 minutes, almost 12 minutes now into the race. We have completed a little over 7 laps. Your leader, still Dion Fiallo, followed by Michael Day, then Peter Hutchings, Ryan Flannery, Raiden Nickel. That top 5 has settled in. Not any change after the first 3 laps or so. Let's check on Zach Holden. He is still on the lead lap. He's 49 seconds
and he's
out of the lead, but he is still on the lead lap after that misfortune. Chris James, though, is a minute or so back after blowing the engine. And we'll see if he can make a go of it. We'll see when the pit stops will begin, too, as we are about a third of the way through this 40-minute event.
Oh, I see what he did. Looks like he either rejoined the race or joined from a second account.
Gotcha. I was wondering there were 2 Chris Jameses. One's Christopher
Well,
C.
since he did it on that opening lap and the race hadn't started yet, I guess he was able to quickly log back over and hop in a fresh car. Not sure often you see that one, but we have had crazier things.
Yeah, but as much as iRacing costs to have 2 accounts.
I mean, we have 2 accounts, Bill. One for me, one for you to call these.
Well, there you go. That's right. Well, looking at Michael Day pressing Dion Fialo for the lead, he was giving him the plastic horn, I guess, on these Miatas.
And you can see that back tire lifting up just ever so slightly, getting off the ground, coming through that turn.
Fialo and Day and Fialo. Michael Day having a blast here, trying to work his way inside, outside, underneath Dion Fialo, but Dion not having anything of it. Day waiting for Fialo to make any kind of mistake, and then there are 3 cars behind them waiting for any kind of mistake as well. And we are still about a second and a half from 1st to 5th, so a really tight front pack here, as we are now 14 minutes into the race. 8.5 laps now, and look, here goes Hutchings looking to the outside of Day.
And he picked up almost a second that last lap, cutting that gap down to 0.6 seconds where he sits right now.
Here goes Day looking to make another run at Fialo, but not quite yet. But then here comes Hutchings. Flannery rather looking to the inside of Hutchings. These cars are light, they're nimble, easy to drive, easier to drive anyway. But say once you hit that limit of control, then it's just like any other car, and it just goes wherever it wants to go. And look to the outside goes Hutchings, and Flannery's going to take 3rd place. As Hutchings got a little bit wide, caught a little grass, but then he was able to get back on it, take the position back, and now they're side by side. Are Flannery and Hutchings, with Fialo looking one side or the other. He's looking to get a nose inside of Hutchings.
Ooh, and Fialo goes a little wide there, giving up the position to Day.
So we have a new leader. Michael Day is now your leader here at 9.5 laps in.
Let's see if we can see that
almost
one again.
16 minutes.
And yeah, he just cooked it a little hard to the outside there, Bill.
Just like we see on the big track, on the real track.
And, Michael Day going a little wide there. Went off track, letting Fialo and Flannery make the pass.
That's right, and
let's see if we can see. Oh, he just touched a tire off there, got a little out of control.
Yep, let 2 by, and Nichols looking to make it 3.
Oh!
And more trouble. Got 2 together, and it looks like Ryan Flannery will come out on the short end of that stick. He's got a little bit of damage there to the left side. A little scuff on the side, and he broke his mirror. Not that they look and see who's behind him anyway.
And that
Let's
cost
go back and
him.
see that one.
I'm scared we're going to go to a replay and then something else is going to happen.
Really?
And that looks like,
Looks
yeah,
like
Hutchings just got right into the back of him. Let's
Yep.
see if we can go to the, see if we go to gyro cam.
Watch that gyro cam gyrate. Whoa. So misfortune for a couple of our early contenders, as we see Dion Fialo back in the lead with Hutchings now in second after that little kerfuffle there between Hutchings and Flannery.
And it looks like, let's go check back in on that mid-pack. Looks like there's a little bit of action going on here between.
Oh, just as you say. There's a little
and it looks like
going on
Jonathan Greenberg got into it. Let's see what happened here.
He got the tire in the grass just like Flannery
just
did.
Ran a little wide. So
Gets
this is
it out of the fence.
This is going to be interesting for our drivers here, Bill, because the last couple of seasons we've kind of had predefined, you take your pits now, you know, the fuel strategies, everything's been pretty set in stone, but with the issue tonight, which is going ahead and scheduling it as a 40-minute race. These drivers are going to need to pit because these Miatas, while the tires will technically hold on, they are going to run out of fuel. And we can see, already 18 minutes into this contest, the tires are starting to wear a little bit. These cars are getting a little bit loose out on track, and it's causing them, just like right here with Leo, to go a little bit wide. And he's just saying, all right, I'm going to go send it in, get that fuel stop.
Sometimes the car just tells you.
Uh-oh.
We've got Flannery.
Oh, no, we've got
Greenberg Carroll.
We've got a mess here on pit road. What is going on?
I was wondering why 4 cars went into the pit, but it looks like they had to take evasive action. Are we going to get any speeding penalties because of that?
Closed. Let's go back to the blimp cam, see if we can see what happened with that. Sorry, folks, I'm a little rusty on the commentator controls here. Let's see if we can. So there goes Leo off track a little bit.
So what I don't understand is what the guy behind him was doing. He was following him in. There goes Greenberg into the pit.
And I guess they just assume it's real easy to do, I guess. Well, maybe we can pull them.
Leo just got into the grass. He lost control. He went into the pits, and he just got followed, it looks like. And
it looks like race director Kevin Espinosa has thrown the yellow flag out, because I am showing a yellow. I don't know if you're seeing that on your side.
Yep, we are it's flashing yellow on the track, and it's also yellow.
Probably to shake out some of that confusion. I don't know if we should go ahead and pull Kevin Espinosa up here and see what is going on with that.
Let's see.
Kevin in the booth with Bill and Will. Can you tell us a little bit of what's going on there? Why we were trying to follow that on the stream. What happened with that erroneous pit stop?
The competition yellow, we just decided to go ahead and throw it just to give everybody a chance to come in, pit, and rebunch up the grid and get a little bit closer to racing. We have kind of 2 big packs going on right now. So I think now that everybody's gotten into a good groove, throwing this yellow will help everybody get a new fresh set of tires, more fuel, and have a little nice big old pack right into the end. So.
And that will certainly help Zach Holden after his early lap miseries.
Because let's see, he has actually already moved back up into the 12th spot.
Right, he is up in 12th. So that's what I was noticing, that this should make life interesting once we have the green flag come out. So we are halfway through. We're now actually 21 minutes into this. They have completed 12 laps.
Now, it'll be interesting to see why Dion, Day, and Flannery all decided to stay out here, because if they decide to pit next time by, that should allow everybody else that pit this time by to get around them. So the lights are still flashing on the pace cars, so there should be at least one more lap.
And they have not pitted before. It's not like they pit.
So either they need to pit now and do green flag, unless this is just their version of inverting the grid for fun, because that was what everybody thought we were doing tonight until we logged in and saw it was just a plain Jane 40-minute sprint race instead of the 20 minutes with the flip grid in the middle. We were trying to make it interesting like NASCAR doing the stages, but race director Kevin Espinosa was not going to have anything to do with that tonight.
Well, speaking of which, you guys going to run on dirt this year, this season?
Well, we thought about it briefly after Bristol weekend. We made a big announcement on April 1st.
Yep. That would be something. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing those kart racers on dirt. That'd be fun to see some of those guys going at it.
You don't really need to go far from Atlanta Motorsports Park to get into some dirt racing. You literally just stay on Duck Thurman and drive about half a mile past the track. And you pretty much are at Atlanta Motorsports Park dirt. So anybody coming from Blue Ridge down to Amp knows what I'm talking about, because your GPS will definitely careen you down some logging trails if you choose to take the shortest route possible.
So we're looking at leader Dion Fiallo and second place Michael Day as we were about to come to the pit entrance. Pace car.
And they're going to stay out.
They're going to stay out. I don't see where track position would have figured into it if they had pitted with everyone else. This will be a good post-race question, Mr. Producer.
Because it looks like, I believe Hutchings stayed out. I'm trying to see, I think just our top 4 stayed out and everybody behind them went in for tires and fuel.
I believe everybody pitted on 11 or 12 except for Holden, Fiallo, and Day. So Zach Holden did not pit either.
Let's see if we can see where that fuel gauge is at. Looks like he is at 12.4. Let's see somebody who just pitted. About the same.
Are we allowed to see the fuel?
Well, I don't know if that's a competition. That gives somebody an advantage or not.
Because I know you can't see revs or certain things that you could spy on your opponents to see what how they're turning their laps. But I don't know.
Unless that's fuel pressure, I'm unfamiliar with these cars. I know they're fun to drive, and that's about it.
It says 12.4 on the fuel.
Don't know if that's liters, gallons,
pounds, or whatever however they measure it. Laps. Alrighty, so I guess we'll be going the lights out on the pace car. So I would assume that means we're going to go green in about half a lap now. At the beginning of lap number 15, we'll have 14 in the books. And we're coming up to the line 2 by 2. This should be good as Zach Holden will be back up front battling with Day and Fiallo, Holden and Carroll. So who is the loser there? Looks like Flannery is still stuck back in 13th. And
did he go in that second lap? I didn't see. We might have talked about it and I forgot. I didn't see if he went in or not.
Flannery pitted on lap 11, so he actually went in after his incident.
That's right.
I'm assuming.
So he might have stayed out.
So as we come,
the pace car is in.
Out of turn number 17 and coming to the line, waiting for the green flag to get this race back underway. We have green. Green flag is out. And Dion Fiallo takes a narrow lead going into the first turn, but they're still side by side for second with Day and Holden. Day maintains second. Holden with a nose under Michael Day looking for third. Meanwhile, fourth place is Hutchings and Raiden Nickel in fifth. So our top 5 pretty tight there. And sixth place will be Matt Carroll. He comes out of nowhere. You haven't talked about Matt Carroll today.
Ooh.
As he gets a little nudge. You got a little action going there into the corner. Oh.
That Corbin
Spinning
Mitchell.
out there is also Raiden Nickel. Got the worst end of that one.
Let's go back and look at that one, see what happened, Bill.
So we saw Raiden Nickel get turned around. Oh, he cut down, looks like on.
And that
on
was
Leo.
Yeah, that was Leo.
Oliveira. And so that's going to give Raiden Nickel a substantial disadvantage now as we go back up to the front of the field with Dion Fiallo, Michael Day, Holden, Hutchings, and Carroll.
And that put a little bit of a gap there now between your top 4 and now this new mid-pack starting from 5th back.
And Fiallo definitely taking advantage of that as he's opened up about 0.6 of a second lead now between himself and second place Michael Day, but don't expect that to last very long the way we've seen this go, especially with these 4, Fiallo, Day, Holden, Hutchings. On board now, watching Dion Fiallo from the front chase cam. This was a great shot to see the line they take and how they hug those corners and nip those apexes, grab those curbs. Now here in Alabama, it's curbs with a C. I doubt it's curbs with a K. Or it might be curbs with a K. It is Alabama after all.
Or tires with a
I had
Y.
to get one Alabama dig, being a Georgian myself. As we are coming up about halfway through lap number 16, we are 28 minutes and 40 seconds into this 40-minute event. Your leader, straightening out those S's, is Dion Fiallo. Behind him, about 6/10 is Michael Day. Third place, Zach Holden. Peter Hutchings make up your top four. Then a little bit of a gap back to Matt Carroll in fifth, followed by Leo Oliveira, Jonathan Greenberg, Ryan Flannery. Eberhard Onabogu, Raiden Nickel trying to recover some of that position that he had. He was in fifth, but he got turned around a couple laps ago. Now he is in 11th. Let's see if he can advance any further. Right now he's dealing with Chuma. As you see Raiden Nickel there with taking a bead on Shuna Onabogu. Meanwhile, Shuna is going underneath Jason Eberhard. And they are both
look
passing
out
number
there.
27. Yep. Oh, into the wall.
Looked like
That
Corbin
was
Mitchell.
Corbin Mitchell. He was the one they were both going underneath. And I had just now noticed that paint job on Chuma's car. I like the student driver part.
It's always fun during the first couple races of a new season, as you know, when we change cars and the drivers love to get creative with their liveries. Some of them choosing to go for more traditional. Oh, looks like
who's that sitting
that's
still
Dion
over there?
Fiallo just took her
Pulling
off, and he jumped to the pits. I don't know what happened there. Did he have? Unless, oh, you know what? He could have ran out. Maybe no.
Can you look in the cockpit and see what his
Yeah, let's see what
does his dash say?
Gotta find the cockpit.
He's going to take a tow, so he's going to sit there for a while.
And it doesn't say anything different. That is weird. I wonder if we can go back and
see what happens. Watch his revs or something. It just quit. It sounds like he's coasting at this point.
yeah, that is. We'll have to ask him after the race to see what happened.
And running out right at the exit of pit road is the worst possible place you can run out of fuel. Let's
because that
listen.
is going to be the longest tow you can take.
Exactly.
And it looks like Raiden Nickel might have gotten back into another incident here. He is jumped to the pits. Let's see what happened. Racing against Shuma.
I got both of them. As we were looking at Dion, had a little trouble with those two, Shuma and Raiden, and he just decided to take the tow as well. Did he just exit the sim?
It looks like he went to the pits, so I'm not sure if he is still in this one or not.
I thought I saw him disappear like he had exited out, gotten out of the car, say.
Because his name has gone to blue on my side, which to me says he is disconnected. I see Fiallo still sitting in pit road, but I believe, yeah, Nickel, Mast, Mitchell, and James are all retired from this contest right now.
So we are coming up on 32 and a half minutes into this, so that leaves us with 6.5 minutes of racing to go here.
Dion back onto the track.
Here comes Dion.
Sorry, I'm taking your thunder, Bill.
No, he'll come back out at 11th position. So he has a chance to perhaps salvage a top 10.
Well, would you look at this, Bill? After the lap 1 wreck, Zach Holden back into second position. Would you have
And
thought
looking-
that at the onset of this with that lap 1 incident?
I'll tell you what, anything can happen in racing, and it often does. Of course, that competition caution didn't hurt matters any. But everybody's had some kind of issue, except maybe Michael Day has gotten into some kind of incident.
But we
And
will
here
see how that plays
Holden.
out, though, because he hasn't pit yet, Bill.
That is right. We did see him. Well, he was last in the pit. It says lap 2. So unless he's got an extra jug of gasoline sitting there in the passenger seat or something that he's
You talking for Holden or for Day?
I'm looking at Holden right now.
Because that was when he had his incident, so that sounds about right.
It says his last pit was lap 2. And then I see Michael Day has not been in the pit at all.
So that's what's going to be interesting to see if he has enough fuel or enough tires to do this.
Something tells me if they think they can make it another 5.5 minutes on the fuel they have, maybe the pit stop on lap 2 may be enough for Zach Holden to hang in there.
Well, that competition yellow did help out because that was 2 full laps under caution, so they were able to just coast it, at low speeds in a high gear and conserve on that fuel. And that ate up almost 6-7 minutes of the race clock, so that might be something that helps them out here, Bill.
Well, let's not forget about Peter Hutchings. He did pit on lap 12, so he's got fresher tires and definitely enough fuel to go. And he is dogging Zach Holden for second spot. So he'll be able to drive more aggressively than either of the 2 competitors in front of him.
And let's check on this mid-pack here. The action heating up a little bit between Flannery and Greenberg.
Greenberg looking to the inside, looking to the outside of Ryan Flannery. And there they are, side by side. No, nothing doing there as Flannery's able to hang on to the spot for the moment.
You
for
can
Greenberg
see those
taking the
brakes
low line.
getting hot, Bill.
Yep.
Gotta
Brakes
love
are important.
gotta love the off-season updates here. We've got tire flakes all over the front of these cars. You can see the brakes getting hot. The new damage models. Last season the cars we were running. They got an update during the season that completely changed up tires. Whoa, Flannery.
And there goes Flannery into Greenberg once, twice, 3 times a lady goes all Flannery and Greenberg into each other. Able to keep them running forward.
He tried to save it with the style points drifting through the turn, but that did not work as he smacked back into Greenberg. And Flannery just can't catch a break tonight.
We'll say he's still in 6th place, however. Could have been worse. It looks like Greenberg got the worst end of that deal as he's in the pit now. Meanwhile, we have 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in this 40-minute event.
The time goes by, Bill. We get calling these, and I look down, and we're at the 15-minute mark. Look back up, and it's 3 minutes to go here, so we should see at least one more full lap here at Barber Motorsports Park.
So these are take a minute 40 or thereabouts for a lap. So that would be, it would be one more lap after this. We should probably see maybe white flag this time around. Where are we? We are about 20 and a half laps, maybe a little bit more.
And let's check on
now,
our
leaders. There will be one more after this one. There'll be one more lap after this. This will be 2 to go this time by, one would surmise. As your leader, Michael Day, hanging in there, bald tires and all.
And he is going to have to wrestle this MX5 for these last 2 laps, Bill. And
what surprises me is that Hutchings, in 3rd with the fresh tires, hasn't been able to do anything, or maybe he's just biding his time.
And you can see that car pushing wide. I mean, Day is using every bit of track. You see that grass coming up off the back tires as he was going in that turn in, and grass coming out at that turn out. He is using every square inch of racing surface here. And he's going to need it, Bill, because these tires are probably getting bald.
Well, I say given the shape the tires are probably in, I don't think the grass is any different from the pavement right now.
Now, here's an interesting thing that might be what's contributing to Hutchings versus Day right now with the two different car setups is Day doesn't have any fuel in the tank. So if Hutchings went in and took a full tank of fuel, that extra weight could be slowing him down right now.
Hopping that curb, yep, and it also changed his.
Michael Day kicking it to four-wheel high there as he's going off-road.
About a lap and a half to go from checkers here as we are at 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go in this race, so they will be taking the white flag the next time by.
And Zach Holden is hungry for the victory here, Bill. Always chasing it, always having some problems coming in between him and the podium, but he has got Michael Day in his sights right now. Should be a very interesting last lap, Bill.
Well, given that curb hopping, you can figure that the less time you're on those wheels, the less wear you're putting on them. So if you go up on 2, you can save a little bit of rubber that way. So we're down 2.
And the white flag is out, Bill.
White flag, 1 lap to go here. 1 lap to go. Can Michael Day stave off Zach Holden and Peter Hutchings? Hutchings is like he's got a couple of car lengths back to Holden. But right now we're looking at Day taking it wide, taking it tight wherever he can to make that car as wide as possible. As Zach Holden looks to the inside, then looks to the outside as they go way down for that double apex corner. And that's going to put Holden to the inside, but will it be enough? No, it looks like Day is going to be able to hang on, have the momentum coming out of that corner. But here comes
Holden to the inside.
To the inside, and he will take the lead on the final lap. And here comes Hutchings as well, looking to take advantage of the situation, not able to, as now Holden, after that early lap fracas, takes the lead with about half a lap to go here. And look at Day, going
to the inside, going to the outside.
Trying to find some kind of opening. He may have 1 or 2 more places he can pass.
Maybe trying to get Holden to shake it up a little bit, lose some control, trying to block him.
And no pit necessary as he looks to the outside, so they're both going to make it. And amazingly enough, Zach Holden will come from way back and will take the checkered flag here and take the win. Meanwhile, Hutchings will finish in 3rd. Michael Day made that entire run on 1 tank of gas and 1 set of tires, showing that it can be done. Unfortunately, it was only good enough for 2nd place.
And I don't know about you, Bill, but that was an exciting race 1 here to Season 5 in the AMP eSeries. We've got 5 more of these lined up. So if you guys at home watching enjoyed this, we will be back at it next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. But before we go here tonight, we will let these drivers finish off this lap. We'll see if we can dip down to the drivers channel, grab a couple people up here, see what happened, get their take. Let's how about let's get Dion up here first, because I want to know what happened and why he pulled off. Dion in the broadcast booth with Bill and Will. How's it going?
Could be better.
Yeah, we see you had a good run going there, and then all of a sudden you just pulled it off and called it a day. What happened?
I blew it up.
Oh, okay. We didn't hear the poof, but we did see the revs just suddenly stop. So, well, how did that happen? Miss a shift or?
Too many RPMs in the second. You can over rev it on purpose into that corner to kind of lock the rears and help the car rotate. And I was really pushing to try to pull away, and yeah, just a couple 100 revs too much.
Oh goodness! So how do you like these Miatas this season so far? How did it go? Other than that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln? So how did it go?
They're great. You know, we had some good battles before the first caution, and looked like it was going to be a great battle to the end. Still ended up being a good battle between Zach, Michael, and Peter.
Absolutely. Well, now, was this a no-stop race? It looks like Michael showed that you could do it on no stops, but those tires would have to be scary worn by that point, right?
The caution in the middle of the race helped us make fuel, and it also gave us a chance to cool the tires down. If the race went 100% green the whole way, yeah, the tire's going to be really greasy, and it would have been really close on fuel. We were looking at maybe like half a gallon of fuel on the pit
Okay.
stop.
Now, is that something that you had done during the week as far as determining what your fuel range is at this track?
We were just doing it right during the practice and qualifying sessions.
All right. Well, congratulations on an exciting race. Even though it didn't kind of turn out the way you wished, you did definitely provide some entertainment for everybody, and we do appreciate your running here in the AMP eSeries. Everybody, it's Dion Fiallo, and congratulations on a. Let's see. I was looking to see where you came in. Yeah, 12th place finish. So I don't know if you actually congratulate somebody on that, but at least it wasn't 13th. We can look at it that way.
That's true. Thank you for having me.
All right, thanks, Dion. Appreciate it.
And let's see if we can get, because I know Zach Holden sometimes jumps in the channel. I'm not sure if we're going to get, yeah, he's down here. Let's go ahead and grab Zach. Zach Holden in the broadcast booth with Bill and Will. How's it going?
What's up?
Well, it's you had a bit of an interesting race. It didn't start well, but it looks like it finished well. I guess if you're going to lead one lap, you pick the right one to lead.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like I got a good jump on Dion at the start, and then Michael and I got collected in an instant. I'm not really sure what happened. I left space, and all of a sudden I was in the wall. So I don't really know, but it turned out all right. And then
yeah, we're watching that now. Yeah, you kind of. It looked like you were about to save it, but then it punched the wall. And you had
making
to go
the pass on
get that taken care of
on Day, and then Hutchings got into the back of you.
Yeah. I wasn't even sure if that was the last lap. To be honest with you guys, I was just racing, and then I got close enough to make the move, and I figured since I was slightly faster than Michael through the roller coaster section, I figured I would take my chances with it, and it worked. Thankfully, so. Was able to hold it.
So what was it like, rear and mid-pack through the bulk of the race, finding your way back up?
Well, I mean, for the most part, I was by myself at the back, and until I caught a couple of the cars there, made some passes, and I got lucky with the timing on the caution, and I was able to catch back up.
So not pitting, or I guess having made an earlier pit stop, you had slightly fresher tires than a lot of folks who stayed out anyway, the ones who stayed out during that competition caution.
Right. Well, I never actually changed tires because it actually takes a lot longer than you would think. So I was actually trying to manage the gap as much as I could after the caution, just saving the tires.
Oh, okay. So you just took the quick fix and got out of there.
Right.
Oh, okay. We did not see that. So it definitely, what's it like then the last few laps, especially when you're fighting for the win, skating on those tires?
It was a little hair raising. I started to make a few mistakes, and I was falling back a little bit, and I had to mute the mic with everybody in the chat and put my head down and go. And that's what I did. So.
Yeah, it is important to concentrate on these. So. Puts you in the early series lead, and now how are you looking towards I guess the format for the remainder of the races, breaking this into two races, into two features? You think that's to your advantage, or would you rather leave it at 140 minutes?
I mean, I'm used to both. With the Jzilla series that we're currently running alongside this on Thursday nights, we do a reverse grid 2-race 20-minute format, and it's definitely really great racing. It's just that if you do have an incident early on, it's just a lot harder to make up the places than having the 40-minute race.
All right. Well, good. We congratulations on the victory. And
Thank you.
definitely make it an exciting finish for us and our viewers at home. And we we'll look forward to seeing you running next week.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Zach. All right, your race winner is Zach Holden. Second place was Michael Day. Third was Peter Hutchings. Fourth, Ryan Flannery. Leo Oliveira, fifth, followed by Matt Carroll, Jason Eberhard. Schumann Obogu was eighth. Ninth, Ben Warren. 10th was Warren Greenberg. Oliver Piatek was 11th. Dion, who we talked to, as we said, came in 12th. Chris James ended up 13th. Roger Mast 14th. Corbin Mitchell 15th. And Raiden Nickel will bring up the rear of the field in 16th. So for all that excitement, he got into a little bit of trouble, then kind of had to call it a day early.
And I want to get one more person up here, Bill, before we sign off. I want to get Mr. Michael Day. Michael in the booth with Bill and Will. How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing all right. A 39-minute race would have suited you just fine, right?
Yeah, it probably would have worked out a little better, but man, it was a lot of fun racing Zach there at the end.
So was that, did he just get position, or did you slip, or was it the tires? What cost you there in that last lap?
Yeah, so these cars are, I mean, if you're within about a second of each other, they have a lot of draft. So even if you're less than a second and a lap slower than somebody else, you can hang with them. Zach's usually quicker than me, so once he was in draft range, I was just trying to stay ahead. And once he got that run, I figured I could slip in behind him and then set up on the last corner, because I had been doing a little bit better on the last corner than him, and try to get the run. And I was so close. I got a nice run, but it just wasn't quite enough.
We saw you trying to make that little Miata as wide as possible. I don't know, was it your plan to go wire to wire without stopping, or did the competition caution settle that for you?
I kind of planned on doing that. I think people were kind of on the fence about whether we were going to make it on fuel or not. So Dion and I and a few other guys were fuel saving a little bit. And I don't think we actually even needed to. We were okay on fuel, so that was kind of the plan.
So are we going to expect them to tighten up on the fuel load starting the next race? Do we want to? Are we wanting to make a pit stop, or do we want to run green flag all the way?
I don't think that was the intention. And as far as I understand, it's actually going to be 2 20-minute sessions next week instead of 1 40-minute.
Right.
So that should eliminate the fuel stop altogether.
I didn't know whether they're going to limit your the percentage of the tank you're able to fill, just to force the pit stops or not. We'll have to talk to Kevin Espinoza about that, or we'll find out whenever everybody starts making pit stops next week. Anyway,
I guess so.
A great run though. That was a great finish there. I mean, you were up front, and you seem to be the only person to have no problems, no incidents, no no spins or off-road excursions. It's like everybody else had a little issue. So
Well,
it's like
this
you were
is one
driving
of the-
easy.
Yeah, I've been trying to get more used to this car. This is one of like 3 cars I'm considering for the Nürburgring 24 hours. And so I've been trying to get lots of wheel-to-wheel, and staying out of trouble goes a long way in these things. So
Oh, absolutely, I know it. At the ring, definitely staying out of trouble is important, because those are long toe laps.
oh, absolutely. And as soon as you touch a curb, it's over. So you can't really put a toe out anywhere.
Yep. All right, well, there's your second place finisher, Michael Day. Michael, again, congratulations on a great run. Came up just a little bit short, but a great run nonetheless, and we appreciate you talking to us.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.
All right, that we will. All right, Wilbur, anything else?
Nope, that's all I got for my end, and hopefully we have now thoroughly shaken all the cobwebs out for our broadcasting. That's what taking 4 months off will do. But we are back in the saddle, folks. We've got another 5 weeks of racing action lined up, and I am actually pulling the schedule up now. So after this week, actually I am mistaken, we only have 4 more weeks, so this is only going to be a 5-week season. I should do my research before these broadcasts, but we will be back at it next week at Road Atlanta. And then and then for week 3, we've got Long Beach, week 4, Sonoma, and then we will cap out the season at Virginia International Raceway. So
a variety of courses, but Road Atlanta next week. That's a fast, difficult course, and that'll be a fun one to watch in these cars. Of course, anywhere these guys get together has always been fun to watch.
Well, the one thing about Road Atlanta that is nice about our series is that is the local track for us, along with Barber. So a lot of these tracks and VIR too, we should expect to see these drivers, because I know Raiden Nickel already has some seat time up at VIR. Some of our other drivers who drive in real life, the tracks that are closer to AMP, they're going to have actual real seat time prior to coming in to these E-races. And, Road Atlanta being the track that we always, I'm wanting to say at least once a week we're running it in the community nights. So these drivers should have a lot of practice, and they should definitely be real tight, real competitive next week going into Road Atlanta.
All right. Well, that should wrap it up here from Barber Motorsports Park for the AMP eSeries week number 1. Again, your winner, Zach Holden, on a last lap pass over second place, Michael Day. For our producer and the color commentator, William Rigdon, I am Bill Rigdon, wishing you a pleasant evening, and we will see you next week from Road Atlanta. Good night, everybody.